So here is the Earth2Eden gardens. You can see that I have some jalapeno peppers here and some green bell peppers that have been growing. This is the second round. I've already picked some of those and jarred or canned them and made a powder out of some of them. And you can see right here that something has been munching on this green pepper here, but that's okay. It's okay to share a little bit. And over to the right, you can see that I have some construction here, right? So I'm trying to kill all the weeds out so I can lay some mulch down and put some new beds over there. And if you come around to this table here, I have some seedlings that actually got leggy indoors, so I brought them out immediately so they could get some sun. So I don't have to harden them off at this point. I probably just need to bury them a little bit deeper. I've got some cabbage, some sweet potatoes that haven't come out yet, but there are a few things like the collards are starting to come out. But yeah, so that's what's going on with this tray. And then over here I have some carrots that are coming up. And here I have some strawberry plants that I actually clipped from a larger plant, which I'll get into a little bit later. And some broccoli and cabbage that's growing here in these cups. And you can see that the broccoli there is getting a little bit too big for the cup. And so if I come over here, there's some strawberry plants. These are the parent plants that I cut those the smaller, newer strawberry plants off of right here. I didn't get any flowers. Doing some research. This is the first year that I haven't gotten any flowers on my strawberries. I'm sure it's because of fertilizer and the weather has just been kind of crazy. That's a lemon tree that I didn't get anything on that as well. I have to do a little bit of research on the soil and what the soil needs to be, like pH level, acidity level, etc. Those are some grapes that I've had for a few years. And then these are blueberries that over the course of years, the soil has kind of gone down and dissipated. So I have to, replant those. And this is some rutabaga that's coming up. These are parsnips. Nothing's happening yet. I'm hoping that I will see something soon. Right here, I've got some beets growing. And here I have some celery from the grocery store that I just kind of threw in a pot of soil to see how it would do. I've been trimming some tomato plants here. Over here we have some lettuce, and I think this is romaine, this one on the right, and then this is just a variety down here. That's a variety of just different lettuces, which I probably need to record and make sure I know what I'm planting. I have some herbs, parsley, and then here there's a tomato plant that's growing some green tomatoes, but I'm not getting anything red yet. It's been a really, really hot summer, and the tomatoes have just been struggling. I've talked to some other people, and they're having sort of the same issues as I am, but they're starting to come in now. It is September, and I'm starting to see a bunch of tomatoes coming in. These are Romas and San Marzanos, and then down here I have some eggplant that are finally coming in. So there's two on this plant. There's a third one up at the top, but something's been munching on it. So I just left it on there so that it wouldn't go to like a new eggplant and start chewing on that one. Around here I have some oregano and some purple basil and some regular Italian basil. And then here I have a watermelon plant that I did actually grow a watermelon, but something got to it and it just kind of like destroyed it. So they're starting to grow some new, there's some new watermelons growing here. I see some flowers on here. Yep, there it is right there. There's a couple other ones, but they're kind of hard to find because they're so small. And then over here, I have the... We're going to ignore this structure to the left. That was a experiment. But here is my compost. And I did drill some holes into a garbage can top and put some netting over it so that I wouldn't get a bunch of flies and things like that in there. So yeah, over to the right, I built this compost bin, and I just kind of throw things over in there. It looks a little dry. I'm probably going to have to drench it with a little bit of water. And then, so yeah, lined it with some chicken wire to keep out certain pests. And this right here, I'm not going to open this because it's really gross. I'm experimenting with some liquid fertilizer that I just took like a bunch of weeds and things and threw it in there with some water. So if I come across over here, I have some kale growing in these grow bags. and that seems to be doing really well. I just put some blood meal in there yesterday to give it some nitrogen. Here I have some Swiss chard, which is taken off finally. And then I have my spinach. I've never been able to successfully grow spinach, so we'll see what happens this year. These are some tomatoes that I guess seeds got into the compost and they just started coming out of the soil, so I uprooted them and put them over here so that they can grow outside of my herb pot, because that's where they came up. This is some sesame seeds that I actually got from H Mart, and they actually got over into my grape plants and started growing, so I took them out of there and put them in their own pot, and they have been thriving. This is my zucchini plant, which has a little bit of, you can see powdery mildew on there, so I've been treating the leaves. And the second plant here, you can see that there's some flowering, and I can see a zucchini coming out right there to the right. So that's always good, because I did grow some earlier. This is turnip. And this is the fig leaves or fig tree that my husband, we dumped a bunch of stuff in the back some years ago, and it started growing in the back, so I dug it up and put it over in the front. But yeah, I had grown some zucchini this year, and the ants got to it and destroyed it, so I regrew like 2 plants over there that I just showed you. And then these are some garden beds that I had initially laying on the ground, and then I just decided to put some legs on them, just because I don't want to be bending down, especially when I get older. There's a deeper bed to the right, and then there's a more shallow bed to the left. So I sanded them down, and then I coated them with some natural linseed oil. And yeah, so that's the garden. Earth2Eden Gardens.